tonight's about connecting or reconnecting. For those that know each other already, we'll be recapping last year's best bits. We'll be kind of, trying to ignite the fun about the festival. We'll kind of get those creative juices flowing between us. Encouraging partnerships. Annie's briefly mentioned that already a moment ago. So encouraging partnerships between organisations, we'll touch on that. Strengthening community bonds, lightening the load. An example of that, sharing a venue or something. But we'll touch on that later. Inspiring others to get involved. How can all of you lot help others to get involved? Is it 2 phone calls you can commit to? Is it passing on the link of a booking form by an email or 3? So any way that you can help spread the word will be hugely appreciated. We'll then look at the model of the festival, what we've chosen to do and why, the scope of what we're offering as an events team and as a festival team. We'll then have that open forum. That's your chance to share your thoughts, ask your questions. You've come here for a reason tonight, so I'd like to know more about that and how we can help you. We'll be as prompt as I can to finish at 8 o'clock. I think we'll try and pass to Helen now, if we can, for the sharing of the video.
Can I just say, this is just this is a 2-minute festival highlights from last year, so it's really just a pull together. So
when my alarm went off at 5 o'clock and I rolled over and thought, I really can't do this. And then I thought, I need to get out there, see the sunrise.
Wanted a starfish.
That was amazing.
We've got some freshwater shrimp.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate what we've got around us.
See the height.
Go, kneel down.
Quite a small community, we all know each other and all mucking together.
They're coming for me too, chasing after you. I don't care about the price, for my love I'll give my life. They're coming for me too, sirens and lights of blue. Oh, I'm gonna be the body. Yeah, I'm gonna be the body. Oh, I'm gonna be the body.
We are definitely stronger together.
We can cook it and eat it with our dinners, so that's nice and healthy.
Thank you for running it and good luck with the future.
We had a great time, didn't we?
We're all here and it's amazing.
Do this all for you.
Definitely worth it.
Fantastic. Thanks, Helen, for sharing that. I just like those 2 words. I'll pass to Sue in a second, but just, we're all here and it's amazing and definitely worth it. That was the 2 last lines. That it's very, very clever thing to end on, Sue. So yeah, well done on that. But I'll pass across just for a couple of lines on the video and what else we've got video-wise and bits, Sue, if that's okay.
yeah, it's hello everybody. I was co-opted last year. I went around the festival like a mad thing, trying to grab bits of video from here, there and everywhere. So it was a pull together. I ended up with so much material that I've actually made lots of little, what I'm calling community videos as well, that I've from the events from last year, which some of which can be seen on the Planet Purbeck YouTube channel through the website. And it'll give you a flavour of some of the events that happened last year and some of the partnerships, the way people joined up together to sort of amplify what they were doing. And it just, I think, hopefully captures some of the fun and excitement of what happened. And we can do a bit more of that this year as well. So I'm urging everybody to take their our iPhones, turn them to landscape, please, and capture moments, because that's also great for pre-publicity for you, and also collecting things during the festival as well. So there's lots more video to come.
Perfect, thanks, Sue. Yeah, I think it's just really nice to kind of start off with that, and really set that tone, that kind of energy of what the power of a film and what we're able to do with that. So yeah, that's very, very inspiring for me. Really interesting. In terms of going around the screen, a little introduction. We know you're all keen to share, but just in terms of this introduction, sort of 30 seconds maximum will be wonderful. 3 kind of things. Well, I've kind of merged them into 3, but then multiples. So your name, where you're from, or what you're representing tonight. The event you hosted last year, or the event you'd like to host this year, in terms of a one-line title for that, and then what excites you about this year's event. You struggling to hear me, Sue?
Yeah, you're just fading a bit in and out. So if you could maybe, I'm wondering if you just moved a bit closer to the screen.
Yeah, I should try. I don't know why it's doing that. Sorry. Yes, so name and organisation, the event you hosted last year or the one you're hosting this year, and what excites you most about this year. In terms of order of my screen, I'll go through Doug first, then Sue and Helen. Great.
So, thanks ever so much, Luke. I'm one of the Planet Purbeck event and festival organisers, helpers. I'm a Greenpeace speaker. That's my sort of personal involvement in sort of getting out there. And I had a fantastic event last year. I really enjoyed it. I couldn't go to as many things as I wanted to, so I was very frustrated last year. But what I did go to, I absolutely loved. So that's me.
Perfect. Sue.
Yes, hello. I'm a filmmaker. I worked for the Natural History Institute in Bristol for a very long time, and I bumped into Luke last year at Norden, and he told me all about Planet Purbeck, and I said, "Oh, I would love to get involved," and that was the beginning of it. And I've met so many fantastic people through it. Purbeck, it has always been a very special place to me. And now I know so many more people there. It's been a total joy, and great to be part of something so positive and life affirming.
Nice. Helen.
Hi, I'm Helen. I'm from Corfe Castle, and I'm part of Planet Purbeck as well. I tend to do a lot of behind the scenes admin rubbish, so answering emails and trying to get things uploaded on the website and that kind of thing. So last year I went to loads of things. It was just brilliant. I couldn't be around for the weekend, but the things I went to during the week was just absolutely brilliant. It was really good fun, and I'm hoping this year is going to be even better.
Nice, thank you, Helen. Next on my screen, the order: Jill, Atul, and then Vicky. Jill, hi there.
Hi everyone, I'm Atul. I'm a charity fundraising consultant based in Bournemouth, specialising in environmental charities, and I'm interested in having some sort of stall at this year's, but probably more likely next year's event. I haven't actually been to the festival before, so I thought I would listen in today and attend this year, but more likely get more involved next year.
Superb, great to have you with us, Atul. Yeah, sounds like some good conversations can be had there, most definitely. Jill next, and then Vicky. Don't know if I can unmute you, Jill, from here. I don't think I can. See if that works. Vicky, do you want to jump in first, and then we'll come to Jill in a second?
Oh, Jill's back, I think. You go first, Jill.
We're all too polite.
Sorry, I thought you were going to
Go
unmute
for it,
me.
Jill.
I had to find the button. Right, okay. I'm here representing Swanage WI. We're very interested in what you do and how we can sort of help you out or spread the word or whatever. There is, although I don't know the date, there is a WI Green Week around about September. So I don't know if we can tie something up there, but we have to sort of figure that out as we go along to see what you're doing and what we're doing. But it's really not to offer to host anything, but really to help you along the way, just really with news. We have a lot of people, as Doug probably knows, and we can get the word out there to a lot of people.
Brilliant.
So we've got literature and things like that. So.
Yeah, fantastic. Superb. Vicky, over to yourself.
Hi, I'm Vicky. I'm from Wareham, and I'm working with Sustainable Wareham to try and get our contribution to this year's festival really up and running. We had a great time last year, but we probably didn't do enough to involve the local community. So we're hoping that by being able to start early this year, we can actually get some really stuff on the ground. And I see I've already got my neighbour here, Annie.
Very good.
So there you go. We've got one community person, next door neighbour, and Jilly, who's also on the call, who is also working with Wareham. So the one of the things that I do want to just mention in this forum is that we are planning. We've got a tentative agreement to have a sort of launch event in Wareham on the Friday, the 16th. In the email, it did say it was on the Wednesday, but actually, because it's a school night, we're going for a Friday. And we're going to try and get a sort of music and food and drink and that sort of thing on the quay. So that's planned for. So if anyone's got any event organising skills and wants to help with that, I'd be very happy to talk to them. We're sort of struggling a bit at the moment, but I'm sure it will all be all right on the night.
Superb, Vicky. Yeah, excellent. Next, lining up, I've got Kathy, Neil, and then Josie. In that order, that'd be great. Hiya.
Hi everyone, my name's Kathy Holledge, and I come from Worth Matravers. I work with Planet Purbeck, and I've started Sustainable Worth, and I'm also an eco champion at the church, so the church will be doing something with Eco Church, and what I'm really looking forward to is doing working with the National Trust, where they've just bought Western Farm, so we'll be doing something for the Planet Purbeck Festival for that.
Oh, fantastic, Kathy. Yeah, great news on that farm purchase. Yeah. Neil, then Josie.
Yeah, I'm over in Wareham. I was on the fringes of getting involved last year, and life caught up with me, and I wasn't able to get involved in it in the end, unfortunately. But I'm on the committee of the Southwest region for the National Allotment Association, so it's allotments, which is really what I'm about. And I'm kind of hoping that I might be able to put a stall together and get some people involved to spread some literature and some awareness about allotments and things like that in Purbeck. So one thing I'll want to take away this evening is a link to the booking form and see if I can work my way through that one there. And very interesting to hear what Vicky is saying about things happening in Wareham down on the quay. I'd like to know a bit more about that at some point.
Fantastic. I sensed Helen's cat-like reactions when you said a link to the booking form. So I have a feeling one's on its way to you any second. Yes. And also on the website as well. But yeah, that'll come through. So Josie, then Ian, and Gillian Pete. Great.
Yeah. Hi, I've got my Joe's Caff South Beach hat on tonight, but I'm also a parish councillor at Corfe Castle with Helen, who's my fellow councillor, and we are both joint leads on the Corfe Castle Environment Group, which Luke is also extremely involved in. Yeah, so with my Joe's Caff South Beach hat on, it's at Studlands. If no one knew where we were last year, it was so wonderful. We did the equinox sunrise, the autumn equinox sunrise swim as part of the festival, and the paella as well. And it was just lovely. You probably saw some of those images just now. Just amazing early in the morning, seeing so many people in the water. And so we're hoping to do it the same again this year. So it'd be great to be part of the festival. And I just love the fact that you know, down at the beach, you've got regular normal people who don't seem to have really sort of understood about, you know, doing something about climate emergency. And I just love the fact that, you know, suddenly all the Planet Purbeck people are there and they're chatting with anybody about sustainability and climate emergency. So it's a great place to mingle with the people that, you know, wouldn't normally maybe engage. So fantastic.
Well then, Josie, fantastic. Yeah, just one point of clarity: the morning swim and then the paella, that was a separate thing, wasn't it? You weren't serving paella for breakfast, just for clarity. Is that right?
Yes, there are two different events. One's early in the morning and one's in the evening. Yeah. Thanks, Luke.
Both huge successes. That's excellent, Josie. Thank you. Ian, then across to Gilly, and then Annie, please.
Hi, my name's Ian Curtis, and first thing I just wanted to say was fantastic video. I'm actually I'm an invader. I'm based in Oxfordshire at the university, so I hope I'm allowed to stay and just listen in. But I've actually worked with community groups over about the last 15 years on this sort of stuff, which is why I haven't got any hair left at all. But it's absolutely fantastic to see what you're all doing, and congratulations for doing a really wonderful start.
Our fan base grows. Thank you, Ian. Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, very well.
Oh, well, I love Purbeck. That's really why I'm here. Yeah, I just think it's amazing.
Yeah, fantastic. Gilly, then Annie. Yeah, hi, Gilly. Oh, I haven't got any sound from you yet, Gilly. You've unmuted, but it's not coming through as yet.
No,
nothing as yet. You can hear us okay, I'm assuming, Gilly, yeah? Nothing coming through.
Oh. Put a volume on your laptop to turn up.
Yeah, Annie, if you wouldn't mind saying a couple of words, we'll just see if there's a setting that Gilly can find, or just check volume on Gilly. So in a sec. Sorry, Gilly. Annie, hi. Just unmute if you can, Annie.
Oh, God's sake, this bloody thing. Right, okay.
We can hear you now. We can hear you now.
I'm an artist, I'm allowed to swear. Yeah, basically, I'm the writer of the Woodland Clan book. I don't know if anyone's heard of it. I know Vicky has next door. She bought it where my sister, she lives next door to my sister. And I've been living, I live in Bournemouth now, but I was in Purbeck for a few years, and I wrote the book. I got an Arts Council grant to write my first children's book, because actually I'm a playwright. I'm going back to London now with my shows. My shows are going on in London. But I got my first grant to write the Woodland Clan in 2020. And I got Mark Page, who's a brilliant artist. He's local to Dorset. He illustrated it, and it went really well. But then COVID hit, and it was like a real sort of weird thing, because actually the book's at the heart of the book is an environmental message about the animals that rise up against the Bigfoots and Smallfoots, which are the humans in the book, the children and adults, to teach them how to look after it, to connect with the elemental world, and to listen to nature, and to look after the planet. There's quite a timely book, my editor said, who edited it.
And that with the festival theme, yeah?
Yeah, and I basically, I'll just tell you a little bit of the history.
Well, Annie, if I can, we will come to that in a second, Annie.
All right.
The intros, I'm conscious of trying to get those done. So it's fantastic, Annie. You deserve an hour on your own, I'm sure of it. Trying to get around the screen. Brilliant. Gilly, any joy at your end? Oh, I can see reconnecting to audio. Any joy? Oh no, what a shame we can't hear you, Gilly. I'm so sorry. Maybe put a couple of words into the chat if you can, so we know what your interests are, what your connections are. We'll certainly try to put that up offline if we can later. I'm so sorry we can't hear you. I've had a message from Julie and Em that they are unable to, they're listening in keenly, but aren't chatting, aren't able to contribute. Both real people and enthusiastic. Alex, you find us time to put your intro in at the end. Just a 30-second intro as to your name, what you're here representing.
Your voice is going, Luke. I think perhaps get a little bit closer to the screen.
Can't get much closer. This could get very uncomfortable.
That works.
Yeah.
That works fine. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
When you turn away, it goes.
Okay, all right. It's just this dodgy laptop. I thought it'd be more helpful, but it's a hindrance. Sorry.
Wonders of technology.
Yeah. Oh, Kathy's got a direct
Look,
point.
I'm on a laptop as well, and you have to be right in front of the microphone.
Yeah,
Straight,
gotcha. Yeah.
dead ahead.
Yeah, it's different to the other one. I thought this one would be more helpful, but it's not. Sorry, guys.
I can hear you
It can help
fine.
to turn it can help to turn your video off sometimes.
I can hear you fine.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. Yeah, Alex, your intro, please. Can you unmute us? Yeah, brilliant, Alex.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. Sometimes there's more than one Alex's. Yes, I'm here because I was here last year, I suppose, and trying to. It's always this amazingly early deadline. I mean, I don't get my brain in gear till after term finishes in June. But okay, I'm intending to do. I liaise particularly with Carey's Secret Garden. We'll put on a couple of events down there, and we'll put on a couple at Simon Gold Sachs, and I'll see if we can do something else as well. I'm trying, though I'm only on the periphery of it, where Sustainable Wareham is planning. Is Ruth in this meeting as well?
No? Not tonight. No.
Okay, Ruth has this concept of adopt a plant, so as to get people involved in growing trees personally, rather than always outsourcing it to the experts. And so I am planning, or she asked me, so it's her idea, to do a tree seed gathering and winnowing, basically an autumn harvest session in the Purbeck Planet What's It week, even though we will then have to come back to it and do workshops during the winter, because obviously some of them will need to be stratified and some not and things like that. But I teach this at Kingston Moor, and I think I could probably manage it, put it that way.
Yeah.
So that's what we're intending to do. Last year, I personally overstretched myself because I had other work on as well. So we're keeping it.
We all know that feeling, yes. Yeah.
Okay. But that's what I'm intending to do. I don't know. I would like to have, there's a few gardens who didn't open last year, and they sort of said that they would this year. So I will go back to them, but I can't, that's depends.
Yeah, no, brilliant. Thank you. We'll pick some of those bits in a minute. That's fantastic. So great to have you here. And Doug, please.
Alex, just a quick one. It's always a good sign of a festival or an event when people come back, and we're getting a lot of people from the original, our only event last year and our first time, and so it's always good to do that. And you mentioned the early deadline. We're trying to do everything as early as we can so that we can improve the quality of the event. I mean, we've only got a small admin team, so this year we're getting ahead of the game. And you'll see some of the things later on which we're offering, which we can significantly improve the quality of, to improve all of your events. So that's really why we're here today. So yeah, just a little point there.
Marvelous, fantastic. Well, thank you all. Vicky, please, a quick one, and then we'll jump into the body of the thing here.
Just to say, Alex, I'm also from Sustainable Wareham with Ruth, and I think Sustainable Wareham, I'm intending to try and help, yourself, Neil, others around in the area who, need some help with organising things. So we're struggling with the deadline as well, but we'll all, give a sort of support there. So take down my details. I'll put my email up on the thing. And if you do need anything, by all means, come forward. Julie will be saying, I'm sure Julie will smile and say, yes, she's also there to help. Isn't that right, Julie? Yes.
Superb. Well done. No, I can't interrupt and stop a connection like that. We're forming on screen. So awesome. Brilliant. Doug, please, if you wouldn't mind, a little bit of background that we're aiming to put on soon. Yeah. Just Doug's going to bring up a couple of bits that he's been working on just to kind of talk us through a few bits. Thank you, Doug. I'll go on mute and have a glass of water now.
So, before I go into one of the events that I went on last year to give you a flavour of what it's all about, I just wanted to explain to all of you, if you're a little bit confused, what our festival is all about. It's a range of events all over the Purbeck area, and Planet Purbeck are just the organisers for this. All we do is organise and manage the whole event for you, for a community. It's a community activity. That's what Planet Purbeck's all about. And we're trying to build networks across all of the communities in the area. And so what we'll do is we will help you manage, we'll help you plan your event, we'll help you promote the event so you have a really good time and lots of activities, and that's really what we're about. In fact, the festival itself is a culmination of everything we've done in the year. Planet Purbeck's done in the year. We're doing things all the time, from laying hedges to sort of clean beaches and various things like that. And really, it's just, this festival is a celebration of what we're doing, but also an outreach to the community as well. And that's why we're so particularly pleased for you all to come along tonight, and hopefully you can all attend and come along and see what it's all about at the very least. Jill, you mentioned about WI, you'd help us. That's lovely, but our main purpose is actually to help you. And if we can coordinate together, that would be really good. So effectively, all of the events are self-managed. They're managed by the individual event hosts, what we call the event hosts. So if you're running an event, you would be the event host. You would be responsible for the whole management of the event. We can give you advice, help, ideas. We'll show you some of the publicity we'll give you as well to make your part of the event really, really successful. But it's your event, and you would be responsible for it, and you will get the credit for that. There are lots of options. I'm gonna quickly go now into one of the events I went into last year, but there are a whole range of different options. So it's not like a traditional festival where you come along and you have a gazebo or a marquee. There's a whole range of things so you could have things like, and we're open for ideas as well, by the way. So I'm just going to give you a small list of things that happen. So there are display tables at some of the hubs. We have hubs in various places, but particularly in Swanage. But we'll have a hub in Wareham and in Corfe as well. There are stalls, outdoor stalls, assuming the weather's going to be good. There will be events going on, which everybody's come up with different events. You've seen the swimming events this morning or this afternoon on the video, but there'll be various other events. If you feel that you can't do everything yourself, there may be an event you can share with. We can help you with that as well, and that's on our booking form as well. You may want to give a talk at a local hall, or get involved with our film festival at Swanage, at the Molam in Swanage. Walks, last year there were bat walks I went on, various other nature walks going on. You may have a garden you want to open up and show people what you're doing, or even the allotments, and take people around. So there are various ideas. I just wanted to give you that summary, that the event is actually, that the festival is actually you, and our job is to manage and help you and coordinate it, really. So I love this event. So this was late afternoon and evening. It was called Dunescapes and run by the National Trust. Julia there, so enthusiastic. We had a walk through the dunes, looking at various things, what they're doing there, the management of the dunes, pulling out pine trees that shouldn't be there, growing baby pine trees that shouldn't be growing. We had a meditation session, which was absolutely fabulous. So we were perfectly relaxed. And as it became dusk, we were taken over further into the dunes and managed to see my first nightjar. And there wasn't just one. They all started coming out in the dusk, and they were absolutely fabulous. You could hear the males clacking their wings together in their mating ritual. And I was just so amazed to get so close to these beautiful, beautiful birds. So then we were actually fighting a few mosquitoes. So if you go to that one, make sure well covered. That's one thing I did learn. But then on our way back, we're going back to our cars, and we managed to see glowworms pretty much everywhere. And we could actually get this close. I mean, I know this looks giant here, but it was probably about 1.5 inches long. But you could really get close to these things and see what they're all about. So that was one experience that I had. But the quality of all of the events that are going across Purbeck are absolutely superb. Plenty of opportunities to ask questions, plenty of opportunities to bring children and friends as well. Really, absolutely high class events all over Purbeck. Back to you, Luke.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Doug. Yeah. Did you want to go roll straight into talking about the background?
Okay, so oh, well, sorry, wrong one. So what I wanted to give you a flavour of really is the vision of Planet Purbeck and what we're working for really. So our vision, we want to create a future in Purbeck that is better for everyone to live, work and to visit. A future with all of these various characteristics which we're celebrating with our festival. So more wildlife and wild places in Purbeck, cleaner rivers, seas and towns. A lot of work to be done there, as we all know. Less waste, less traffic, make our life better. Cleaner air, so we're healthier. Food and energy independence for the area. Sustainable tourism. It's obviously a very big tourist area, so we want to try and nudge it in that direction. And a community that believes that by working together, all of the above is possible. That's our vision for the year. That's what we live to during the year. And as I said, the festival is a celebration of what we're doing there.
Cool.
And by the way, one thing I didn't add is that we have a lot of fun while we're doing this. So yeah, it might seem serious tonight, but we do have a lot of fun.
Can you hear me? I don't know. Yep, I'm being muted.
Yeah, we can.
Sorry. I thought somebody muted me. Yeah, I was just thinking, because you're doing the festival, my trail at the moment, I was obviously I did the trail at Corfe Castle last summer and then they went to Brownsea Island, went to Dalston, Corfe Castle, then Brownsea Island. I gifted it because I obviously got a grant to do it and National Trust invested in it. I've got it. It's at Thorncombe Woods at the moment. It might go to Blue Pool. I'm not sure whether he's going to take it or not, because obviously I make a bit of money myself as a writer out of it, because I designed the trail. I worked with artists and I worked with schools. Well, the children made a lot of the stuff, which was just absolutely brilliant, and it won the hearts of all the people that saw the trail.
Yeah.
I've got it at Thorncombe Woods, but if it doesn't go to Blue Pool, I think I could bring it for the festival. It's free. I just might need some help installing it. And I've got the activity book, so it's a people could do the activity trail and get obviously the badges, that might not be too, and the paper, you might have to be a bit careful with that, because obviously environmental, but you might want to work it your way and have the trail. It's all made of willow and
I'm sure we can certainly talk about that, Annie. I think it would fit very well, but why don't we talk about that at the end of the meeting, or an email, really, and try and get the details sorted out. I'd be very, very, very keen to help you.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice, because I gifted it to Thorncombe Woods, and if I can get good out of it for people, and I can, obviously platform, promote my book, but more than that, get people. It's a lovely thing for children to do, and it's loads of activities, so it's kind of entertaining as well. It's not just about learning about nature; it's engaging with characters. Yeah.
Alex,
once you've designed your event, Annie, shall I go on to show you the sort of support that we can offer with
our
marketing? So
please.
Let me go back on to the.
We whiz through that, and we can start to hear for a few voices and a few questions. Yeah, it'd be brilliant, Doug. Well done. Sorry. That's great, Doug. Yeah, see that perfectly.
Right. Okay. So this is the marketing support that we can give you as an event host, really. So particularly Annie, you're talking about your event. This is the sort of thing we can do for you. This was last year, but I have updated some of the things we're doing this year as well. So the events last year, we covered all these areas from Kingston right down to Wareham. There was something like 209 individual events. So big festival, a lot to organize for us. But that's why we're sort of giving guidance to individual events so they can, we have a maximal, we have much more of an effect that way. You've got good website presence, and even better this year. We've got a really good website this year. We've put a lot of investment into it in time and money. And last year we had 14,000 visits to our website. We expect even more this year. And you'll be included that with your event. Huge amount of social media. I mean, we're very proud to have a lady involved with our marketing, Heidi, who is absolutely superb, top level professional marketeer with fantastic social media skills. So we get a huge amount of coverage there. Newsletters will be going out again, sort of getting out your message there to the Purbeck area and wider in some respects. Press coverage. Maximal press coverage, and I think this year, because it's not the first year, I think we'll get more of this and we'll be even more successful. Plus the fact that we've learned so much from last year, so some things are actually easier for us to do. Radio coverage, Rob was up there being interviewed by these, and I'm sure we're going to be getting the same sort of thing this year as well. Videos, we can do individual videos for you. You saw a taste of the quality of our videos earlier, but there are various videos we can do for your individual event as well. Event listing on various websites, so we're pretty much covering everything we need to be doing. That's online, but offline you've probably seen the posters around the place, and last year these posters were just all over the place, and you'll see one of them here. That's last year, so don't look at the date here. And this year we're adding a printed program, which brings me to the point that there is one deadline for the booking. If you can book before the 16th of this month, you will get included in the printed program. And you can understand that we do need time on our side for getting this done. So we've set a deadline for the 16th of May. And if you can get your application in there, then that will be included in the program. Obviously, you've still got time after that to apply and to book, but it would be good for you if you can get in the printed program, because that's going to be distributed everywhere around the area, and it's a permanent thing which people can keep as well, so they have telephone numbers and things like that. Vicky.
Yeah, how much detail will we need to have? Because I know that some of the people I talk to, they've sort of got an idea, but they haven't really worked through exactly how they want their event to go. So what would be a sort of minimum level of detail that you need to get into the program?
I'm going to pass over to Helen in a second, but I think you do need a reasonably clear idea of what you're going to do. I mean, there are some events. For example, I'm organizing an oceans and rivers gazebo outside the Molam with some colleagues, and I've got a rough idea of what we're going to do, and we're going to fill in the gaps later on. So, but there will be a number of specific questions we do need to ask you in terms that we can make sure the quality of the event is right, and that everyone is prepared properly for, to be part of the event. So perhaps I can pass over to you, Helen, and you could answer that one a bit more in detail.
My understanding is that what we'll have is basically it'll be a one-liner. So it would, just a very short description. I think we said something like 50 characters, a description of sort of what the event's going to be. And obviously we need to know the date and the time and where the event's going to be held. But it's basically going to be quite a simple listing, similar to what the Swanage, they do for the tourists of what's going on in Swanage. It's going to be something similar to that. So it doesn't need to be a huge amount of information. But obviously, as Doug says, it's, we need to just, in terms of programming, we need to make sure we don't have clashes and so on. So that would be the sort of information that we would need to get into that program.
So that what you're saying, Helen, is it's quite easy to do once you've got the concept, and I think you can update it as you go along, can't you, as the time goes on. So yeah, so don't let that put anybody off. It just needs a brief description and a concept at this stage, I think. Luke, back to you.
Yeah, I was just Neil's raised a hand. Neil, you have a question for us?
Yeah, thank you. Just to try and get some clarification, I've had a quick look at the booking form, and I've looked at sort of page 1, and it says at the bottom of it that it's page 1 of 15. Is there any way I can get to see all 15 pages in one go so that I can gather information from other people before I start filling it in?
It's a really good question, actually. Helen's the one to answer that.
I can sort you out a PDF. The reason it's so many pages is that we've allowed it so that if people have got the same event that's different, it's on different days and different times, so that they can just do one booking form for multiple occurrences of the same event, but with different times. So that's why you don't, when you go through it, it's not actually, unless you're doing that, it's not necessarily 15 pages long. But we can create it as a PDF, but that's going to it will end up being quite a long PDF. But you can just sort of scan through and have a look and see what's in the booking form.
Yeah, I don't mind filling in 15 pages. I don't mind filling in 30 pages, but I want to have the information in front of me in order to be able to fill in those pages.
Yeah.
And unless I know what the question, okay, thank you. A PDF would sort it out for me.
Neil, very good question. I was asked that same question earlier today, actually. So that answer is really useful. It sounds like it's a bit like a tax form. You can sort of see the whole thing, but you can sort of jump ahead if necessary. And I don't think it's going to take more than 10-15 minutes to do the whole thing for most event hosts, actually.
Oh, you can't jump ahead unless you've filled in the required fields. You can't go to page 2 until you filled in page 1.
Helen?
Yeah, that's correct. The reason we've got certain questions that there has to be an answer to, and the reason for that is basically what we're going to do is we're going to take all of the booking forms and bulk upload it, so exactly what you write in for your event description gets transferred onto our website. Last year we had a number of issues with getting things uploaded onto the website, and it was really time intensive in terms of getting that. So we've put it all in the booking form now, so we can then upload it straight across and make sure we get the descriptions exactly as people want them, rather than having to interpret them for people. So yeah, you do have to go through it step by step.
Yeah, we'll sort that PDF out for you, Neil, if you've got your details there that you can share with us, and or controversially do a dummy run, a mock fill out of the form, if you like, progress through, and we can always delete that from the system later if needs be. But yeah, very, very self-intuitive, I'd say. And then, yeah, as Doug said, sort of grab yourself a bowl of Cocoa Pops tomorrow morning for breakfast, and 20 minutes later, you'll have a nice, simple form, dates, times, a couple of contact addresses and bits like that, easy peasy. Nice. Doug, anything else on your side there to touch on?
No, that's fine. Thank you.
We've covered everything there, I think. In terms of notes I was meant to be doing at this point, I will whiz through. Why is the festival going to be better this year? I think Helen, Sue and Doug have done a brilliant job of summing those bits up with their videos and with their information they've given us so far. The main reason it's going to be better this year is because all of you, or nearly all of you, are going to be involved. Appreciate we have one or two self-confessed tourists, and we're delighted to have you with us. But hopefully there'll be enough to kind of make you intrigued and see how you can get involved, and a conversation or two of what we can do this year or what we can lead to next year will be fantastic. That's the main reason why it's going to be better. In terms of opening it out to yourselves, yeah, lovely to hear from you. There's more scope again for kind of back and forth, afterwards, but kind of any kind of concise points or concise questions that you have, why you've come along tonight, anything else you'd like to share with us. We've done a lot of the talking kind of in one way, but we want to hear from yourselves. I say that with unfortunate that we can't hear Jilly. Sorry again on that note. But we know Jilly, and so that's good that we can catch up with you separately. But is there anyone that has any particular questions or thoughts now to share with us, or any? Have we answered more questions than we've raised? Perhaps, I don't know. Josie.
I was just curious about the program. Is it a free program that would be handed out like they do for the Purbeck Arts Week, or is it something that you buy? That was just a question there.
A free program is my understanding. Yeah, there's not been any mention of cost. So it's a cost to Planet Purbeck to produce it, but free for all of those. And obviously, as I kind of mentioned, the most up-to-date information will always be on the website, and the printed program will make that very clear that we've printed early. We want to get that out before the summer holidays so that people have it in their hands and can really kind of make those long-term plans. But the website will always have the most up-to-date information. We're aware of time, the lag between the program and the event. So the program will make that clear. But yeah, a free program answer that. Beryl, nice of you to join us. Probably missed the body of it, but we're kind of expecting it now. We have a hand raised. Hello.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been up the youth club and planting things with Planet Purbeck young people. Yeah, I just wondered whether anybody put forward about the Planet Purbeck young people putting up a stall or whatever you're doing with your event, or is it a separate event you're talking about? Because I've missed it. So, or are you talking about the collective event in September?
So I'll pick that up if you don't. Yes, so the Planet Purbeck youth group that we have, and I'm very proud to have, going from strength to strength on a weekly basis. They will be running an event, like kind of a headline event at the festival. Like we're talking about anything related to the festival, from a 1 hour tabletop stall to 3 events on each of the 10 days. There's all sorts of sizes, shapes being considered. And just encouraging people to get those forms in, start thinking about what they can do for the festival, and bring support in any way that we can.
Well, they're growing peas and beans in their allotment at the moment, and potatoes and stuff like that. So, and doing lots of projects. So, and we've just planted our, Jubilee tree, which they've made all the right words to go on a plaque to go for it at the youth centre. So we're having a little bit of a ceremony for that. We got loads of photographs of them planting things and doing stuff. So if I've got to fill in a form or something to do with that, or is someone else doing one? Is someone else doing the Planet Purbeck young people? Have you got to fill in a form?
Julia and Hester are taking care of that.
Yeah, good.
Element.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm just a sideline. I'm just sort of supporting, really. Yes.
No, but it's fantastic, Beryl. It's fantastic.
The other thing is, as sort of Joyce from the youth centre on its own, separate from that, put anything forward.
Not that I'm aware so far personally. Again, Helen might be best placed to answer that if we haven't the initial contact yet.
No.
A shake of the head, so no, that's a phone call or an email or a nudge or whatever tomorrow, please, Beryl.
Yeah, okay. I'll sort of talk to Joyce about that. Who's going to send this PDF out or whatever it is you're doing? I've just tried to catch the end of it. Who's sending out the forms?
It's on the chats already, I think.
Oh, it is on the chat.
I don't know if you joined after I've attached it. I've attached it to the chat, Beryl. If you want to download it from the chat. That's just the PDF. Obviously, that's for people to look at the whole thing, but we want people to fill it in on the website. So I'll put the web link for actually filling in the online form in the chat again.
Right.
Perfect. But any questions on that? If you pop the email address in again as well, Helen. There's kind of the link to the website, and then also our email address. Just drop us a one-line email. Would love a chat. Put your phone number, and we'll pick up that as quick as we can to come back to you.
Thank you very much. Well, I think I've finished then at the moment. Thank you.
Fantastic. Alex, you've raised a hand.
Yes, there's just a couple of questions that
Please.
I need to just get in my head before I go and bully people into joining in. Last year there was quite a few comments that it was a very exclusive area. That what do you define as Purbeck? Because Wool felt left out on a limb. I mean, when you say events, there's a whole lot grouped around Wareham. Well, of course, most of them weren't. A lot of them weren't in Wareham. They were sort of in Sanford and Carey and places like that around. And your logos or your picture up on the screen said Isle of Purbeck, and most people do tend to think Swanage people think that Purbeck stops at Wareham, but Wareham people know that Purbeck goes a bit further north.
I think we're happy to be flexible on that, Alex, as long as it's not too far away. It's a bit like Israel being in the Eurovision Song Contest, isn't it? Really, and Russia as well. So, or used to be. So yeah, we're happy to be flexible on that one.
It's more that sort of with your publicity stuff, it just makes sure that it is more inclusive than doesn't sound as though everything's Swanage. Is what I would ask. The other bit is bearing that in mind, and we know that Swanage is a dead end. What have you worked on any other way of dispersing traffic or parking?
It's a good point. We didn't have huge problems last year, and we do direct people to the main parking car parks. And that, I think that's all we can do. And our festival isn't as mega as the carnival, so it's never going to be that bad. So we obviously we're aware of travel and trying to make that a little bit more sustainable, and we'll be working on that as time goes by. But for the moment, I think we're just using the existing car parks and pointing people in that direction.
And nobody suggested a shuttle bus.
We have been talking about things like that, but the event is quite small at the moment. So I think, we are ambitious to do things like that and consider things like that in the future. But I think for the moment, I think it's our second year. We're still a relatively small event. So I think, yes, we have a number of ambitions, and that may be one of them. But for the moment, I think we're too small to start thinking about that, really.
Yeah, I think, Vicky, I know you've got a hand raised. Just on that, I'm conscious of time as well, but in terms of shuttle bus, public transport, those bits, they are kind of prompted within the booking form as well, kind of get our organisers, our event hosts to think of those aspects. So yeah, as Doug said, second year, let's see what happens and what kind of creative ideas come up. I've got a vision for some electric car driving tests and things, which may kind of by default create their own kind of shuttle service. So you test one from Norden down to Wareham, and then test another one on the way back or something. It's a bold vision, but not that complicated, I don't think, having spoken to the people that had electric car testing event I was at on Friday. So, one idea. Vicky, please, I kind of flash your question.
Just on the transport, I think we've been thinking about that in Wareham, and we were going to produce something which tells people sustainable ways to get to Corfe, i.e. the bus, the 40 bus. And I think it would be good in the programme, actually, if you actually had something which says public transport to get to the different events, because effectively, it's quite a good service, actually, in Purbeck. You can get to most places on the 40 or 50 bus. And then also, perhaps, we were also going to do a walking route and a cycle route from Wareham to Corfe for the first weekend. So I think that would be really helpful.
Thanks, Vicky. Excellent.
Yeah, here. I second that. It's brilliant, Vicky. Yeah, it just these conversations, it starts to make you think and starts what's accessible, what's feasible, what's not, and what's realistic. Helen, direct point.
There is questions in the booking form about public transport to host events, so that would then appear on the website for their particular, everybody's event, assuming that they actually fill it in and there is public transport available. So if it is available and hosts know about it, it will be on the website to tell people how they would get to places.
There is one thing I do need to mention. I don't want to finish on a downer on this one, but we do need individual, because it's we just manage a series of events. We do have to ask people to come up with their own product liability insurance. We've actually found an insurance company that work with small events, and you can get insurance from about £30 for most small events as well, if you haven't got it already.
Yeah, no, it's really, really real. So, Doug, it's kind of one of those frequently asked questions, isn't it? And as is, people have asked about kind of charges and costs and bits like that as well to be involved. Our booking form quite simply says that we'll be rattling our tin once we can kind of confirm your booking. The framework around that, there will be more. That we're still working on that framework to come out once we have bookings in front of us. The suggestion as it stands is donations ranging from, totally discretionary, totally voluntary, ranging from £100 for a large business or a large event down to a suggested £25 for a small event and a small. I think for what you're getting, the support and the kind of the publicity, we feel it's exceptionally reasonable to ask. It's a suggested discretionary donation, 25 for small, 50 for medium, 100 for large. I keep mentioning the fact there is no maximum donation that we would turn down, so bear that in mind as well, please. But yeah, we feel it's a suitable format for this year. Trying to avoid kind of complex booking forms and scales of booking and incentives to book early and bits. We've kind of just talked about every size, shape, format that we possibly can, and this seems to be our best approach for this year, and we think it's really, really fair. It's you are the festival. We keep repeating that it's a community festival, and that's the way we're
as you said.
that.
Look, it's totally discretionary, and it's really up to the individual. So and the individual organisation on that.
Yeah, brilliant. Any other questions at the moment? Sue, please.
Yes, Vicky, the event you talked about, the cycle event, is that a separate event that Sustainable Wareham is setting up?
No, we don't want to actually have a cycle event because that would be hugely complex with insurances and all that sort of thing. It's simply showing people routes. This is the way that you can cycle to Corfe, avoiding the main roads, for example. And this is a side, like we've got a walking route that says this takes 2 hours. Here's where the paths are, but we don't want to. We want to give that out at our launch event. So we don't want to actually organise it because then you've got all sorts of issues about people getting run over and things.
Nice, thanks, Vicky. Any others? Oh, Sue, yes, a second. Go for it.
Another question for Jill, actually, with the WI, and I was just wondering if, as we've been speaking, whether there's been any sort of sparks that have gone off in your head in terms of how we could help the WI work together to, help publicise different events in Swanage and beyond.
Nothing immediate comes to mind. I think we need to see what people are actually providing, as whether we want to, because being a charity, there are things we can and can't do. But I think once you've got an idea, and maybe when the brochure's out, then we can get together with people if we can actually help them. So I think we have to suck it and see it at the moment. To be colloquial about it.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's great, Jill. Thank you. Anything further? We'll do a little check out, and obviously, if there are further questions and anyone wants to kind of hang around, and chat further, it'd be interesting to hear any other thoughts that you have in terms of, what we've covered tonight. We've bombarded you. We've certainly, raised a few questions for ourselves as well. This was the first. The first kind of launching of it, making some of these details more public. We've sent around that booking form. Maybe we do a second session like this, or an in-person meet we were talking about potentially as well. So there were a decent list of apologies that were sent for tonight, people that couldn't make it. Another reason why we've recorded it and wanting to pass on to those. So yeah, it's been absolutely brilliant on that sense. Neil, you've got a hand raised as well, please. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a number of interesting things have been raised by people around my screen this evening, and I'm just wondering when I sort of leave this meeting how I'm going to keep in contact with you good people.
I've put the email address on the contact. I'm going to put it on again.
Yeah, do we have to sort of go through that? Can we can't contact each other directly? There isn't a general mailing list that people can subscribe to talk about things? No.
Not at this stage, no. We're quite welcome to talk to us individually if you wanted to, but it's probably better to go through the email so that you can so we know what your questions are and we can sort of manage it as a small organization, I think. And Helen,
okay, but if I wanted to contact the Women's Institute directly or Sustainable Wareham or something like that, it seems as though I've got to send an email to somebody who's got to send an email to somebody. Is that going to be correct?
Helen's got an idea.
I was just going to say, if people want to make, network with each other on, from today, just put if everybody's happy to put their email or organisational email in the chat. And then there is the ability to save the chat to then save those email addresses. So I've just put our Planet Purbeck and my personal email in the chat. If other people are happy to be contacted to talk amongst yourselves, there's quite a lot here from Wareham, so it sounds like there's lots of links to make in Wareham. Just pop it in the chat, and then if you don't know how to save the chat, in the chat box there's 3 little dots. So if you click on that, you then have the opportunity to save the chat, and that saves on your computer.
That's, well summed up, Helen. That's great. And yeah, exactly that. Those connections beyond this screen, and as we go further, that's what it's all about. And then it's kind of coming to us with ideas of particular events. Then fantastic. But that strengthening those bonds and lightening the load, sharing between each other, we can see it forming already, which is fantastic, Neil. So keep in contact as best you can with us. As I say, Helen's put the main events one there. Is if it's nothing but a line saying hi, would love a chat with someone, one of us will pick that up and talk you through who's who, share email addresses that we have, etc. With those people that we know you'd like to be in contact with. We can do all of those bits. Vicky, you had a hand raised, and then we could do a little kind of checkout to let anyone that's still waiting for their dinner to disappear.
I was just going to say, we've got a little WhatsApp group in Wareham, so I'll just put a thing in the chat. If anybody wants to join the WhatsApp group, they can just give me their mobile and I can add them to the list.
Brilliant, Vicky. And Neil, I think, has shared his email address there already as well, so it might be a good one to note down if you can. Make that direct contact on the Wareham side. That'd be brilliant, Vicky. Thank you. Excellent. Wonderful. In terms of a close for tonight, what have I put down on my little notes here? My one word. My one word checkout would be inspiring. That's me. I will work around the screen. A 2-second, a 2-word maximum checkout from you. You can still stay on the screen afterwards if you like, and there's bits more to talk through. But I'm conscious that some of you, we've overrun time-wise, and we don't like doing that, Planet Purbeck. But it's just too good, it's too juicy, isn't it? So we've got to stay on these things sometimes. Mine's inspiring. I'll pass to Doug, Sue, and Helen.
Longer than one word. Do come along. You'll really enjoy it.
Sue.
Possibilities. That's what I'm thinking.
Very
exciting.
Good. And then I've got Jill, Atul, and then Vicky.
I'm going to say good luck to everyone.
Thank you, Jill. Atul.
Thanks. Yeah, I think in my case, probably attend this year with a view to possibly being an event host next year. So thanks, everyone.
Marvellous, thank you. Vicky, then Ian.
Great communications. I can feel that Wareham's going to be absolutely smashing it this year.
Perfect. Definitely more than 2 words, but it's brilliant, Vicky. Well done. Ian, then Alex.
Thanks for your hospitality. Be bolder. Reach out to some really strange audiences and partners.
We like that. Sound advice, Ian. Thank you. Think big. I like it. Alex, then Dilly, maybe in the comments if you have in the chat. Alex?
Similar, be more innovative. Try totally different things.
Nice. Well, we're certainly hoping we're encouraging that for our events host, absolutely. Annie, then Neil.
Yeah, it's interesting. I need to talk a bit more to everyone about stuff.
Yeah, perfect, Annie. Fantastic. Your energy's been brilliant. Thank you. Neil.
Yeah, talk to people. Only people get things done. Sounds like it's going to be fun.
Fantastic. Beryl, then Josie.
Yep, think out of the box and really go for it. Well done for starting it off. Well done.
Fantastic. Thanks, Beryl. Josie.
Stronger together.
Oh, fantastic. Very good, Josie. Very good. Yeah, very good. I like that. Thank you ever so much, folks. It's been really, really interesting to get some of those thoughts shared. A lot of work going on behind the scenes, so to kind of meet real people outside of the Planet Purbeck box and start chatting about things, it really gets the juices flowing. Absolutely fantastic. Please do stay on. I'm going to dash off and refill my glass. Anyone wants to stay around and chat, then please do. Marvellous. But beyond that, go forth and be brilliant. Thank you.